This is how a faster boxer steals your rounds. They get ahead early, and then they run. Then they pick up more points every time you try to get them back. Before you can get started, they have already taken the judge's attention and won the fight. You lose to faster boxers when you try to match their pace. Beating them comes down to not letting them get their momentum started. To teach you how, let's look at Javokhir Ummataliev at the 2025 World Boxing Finals, where he beat a quicker opponent by forcing them to fight at his pace. With these lessons, you will know the system to beat a quicker opponent by taking away their offense, build your own, and pick the right moment to punch. The first step of the system is to take away their offense. The problem starts when you're standing too close, putting yourself in range and giving away easy points. The more they land, the further ahead in points they will get. And with only 3 rounds, it will be much harder to regain your momentum. So, we start by taking away their offense, stopping them from building their momentum. And the first step is to take away their jab. If they have a hard time landing their jab, they will struggle to find other shots. Making it hard to find that jab forces them to slow down and think before they throw. That mentally slows them down and gives you more time to set up your own punches. Let me give you 2 ways that you can take away their jab with the skill set that you already have. First, you want to stand out of reach. This forces their punches to travel longer. With this extra space, you have more time to react. Let me show you the difference. Can you see in this example? The red boxer makes himself available by standing too close. See the difference with Ummataliev. He is just slightly further, at a distance where he can handle the speed. Identifying your opponent's reach and standing at a distance where you can handle the speed is the first step to take away their jab. This distance will be the base we use later in the video to see their punches and counter, so we can build our own offense. But before we get there, the other tool that you can use to take away their jab is to protect your center line. Do you remember the last example? The red boxer is not only close, but his guard is wide open. When our guard leaves gaps, we just make it much easier for our opponent to find openings, since there is nothing in the way to stop them. So, how do you protect your center line? By positioning your arms and body in a way that blocks your opponent's punching lanes. Ummataliev has to make minimal movements to defend, because his arms are already blocking the path of his opponent's punches. Notice how his rear hand is blocking the path of the jab, and his shoulder is blocking the path of the cross. Ummataliev has an edge defending these punches, because his opponent has to both cover a long distance to hit and has to work his way around his guard. All that effort just leaves him open for counters. But remember, it's not enough to just keep your arms in the right position at the beginning of the fight. You must be able to hold the right distance and protect your center line through the whole fight. If one of these 2 tools is missing, you can still give your opponent a chance to get even. This system only works if you are reestablishing your distance and protecting your center line after every exchange. Once you can consistently read your opponent's reach, you can move to the second step of the system. Because defense is only enough to stop their momentum. Now we need to build our own momentum to win the round. So, the second step is to build up your offense. The main problem is that many boxers have no plan when they start to establish their offense. They try throwing big shots too early on the fight, and a quicker opponent simply counters them. So, using the distance that we used in step 1, you can find the safest punch you can land without getting countered. These are your low-risk, low-reward punches. These are punches that seem to make no damage, but they allow you to stay ahead on points without getting countered. For Ummataliev, this punch was the jab to the body. Remember, the value of these shots is not on landing them. The whole point of your offense at this point is to not give away points to your opponent, while you build the sense of distance and timing to land bigger shots later on. Once you can land these shots consistently without getting countered, you are ready for step 3, where you can start landing meaningful punches and steal the fight. But before we get there, if this video has been helpful, please subscribe to the channel and share this video with a training partner who may need it. This is the best way to help me to keep bringing content like this for you. Moving on to the third step of the system, this is when you're going to steal the fight by landing your biggest shots. But the question is not what punches to throw, but when. Going too early just opens you up for counters, and going too late lets them escape before you can throw back. So the best shots you can land come from using your distance to time your opponent and punch with them. These punches are the most impactful for the judges. Because they are walking into your punches, this creates more impact and usually leaves them off balance. And the best part is that the more punches you counter, your sense of timing will improve, allowing you to counter more often. Another bonus is that the success and timing of these counters allows you to unlock another opening. But this only works if you already have the timing to punch with them. First, because you already have the timing of their shots, so you are in a better position after defending. Second, because your opponent now needs points, they will tend to get a bit closer, and this will allow you to surprise them with more punches. It's in these sequences that you land your best shots. Because they are caught off guard in range, their defense looks more vulnerable and your punches look more effective. At this point in step 3, you have control of the fight. Punching with them breaks their rhythm, and punching while they are resetting catches them off guard. Sequences like this helps you steal the fight. Now, the problem is that all these counters rely on distance and timing to land. But there are easier ways to counter. If you want to learn how to set up traps to land better counters, you can click on this video. And if you want me to review your rounds and tell you what you're missing and how to improve, you can click the link in the description to get started.